What is up, everybody? Welcome to The Feast, episode 56, the show where you submit replays and we cast them. I am Delthius. How's it going, guys? Oh, my microphone levels seem to be peaking a bit. Ooh, turn those down a little. Yeah. Good to see y'all, man. Awesome viewership for an irregular time, so I appreciate everybody showing up. Yeah, I'm about to have to hop on the road for a few hours, and I figured instead of canceling, I would just try to knock this out real quick. So awesome submission mounts, man. I really appreciate it from everybody. I've got a ton of replays lately. I tried my best to fit every unique submitter in as I could. I even actually, there's even 13 replays instead of 12, so I'll try to muscle through these as quick as I can. Yeah, I got everybody but Vincent, unfortunately. Sorry, Vincent. I did make a note to get your submission first thing on Thursday. So, really cool, man. Happy to see everybody. Thanks for the raid, Miss Clicker. I had a blast hosting the Tooth and Tail Season 2 League Grand Finals with Best Sakya NA over the weekend, man. If you guys haven't seen that, definitely hop over to his channel and check those matches out. It was an absolute slugfest in between Pyle and Swifty, and it was really cool to see, man. What else is going on? Tooth and Tail Season 2 League is underway, so make sure you play your matches. We got the PvP campaign coming up this weekend. And yeah, that's it, man. So I'm gonna hop into this. Thanks for the replays, Miss Clicker. No, I didn't do the FFA. FFA, yeah, that's right. Free for all. I don't know why I thought there was an additional F in there. So sorry about that, man. I just had too many things to try to fit in. And yeah, I gotta crunch this out real quick. Yeah, I'm sorry, Jet. Gabe and he had hit me up to cast too, man, but I didn't have time. I had to scramble to throw this together. I had a bunch of stuff I had to do today, so I didn't really have time to do the sound checks and all that type of stuff for a dual caster tonight, man. So you guys are just stuck with me, unfortunately. I'll try to set up it to like rerun at 8 o'clock for regular viewers. So yeah, let's get into it, man. Game number 1. Okay, spawning at the bottom, we've got Amistria. And her opponent up top, Saint Abroad. Let me know how the levels are in the chat, guys. I think I got it leveled out pretty well. So, Saint Abroad rocking the Fox, and Amistria's got the Wolf. She's been running the barbed wire a lot lately. I think that's really cool to see, especially after the little bit of HP buff that it received with the most recent patch. But I don't know, I guess there's a little bit of a nerf to barbed wire, or just like defensive structures in general, because barbed wire was used a lot to tank. You kind of throw it down and mess with your opponent's AI of their units, and they, target fire down the barbed wire and stuff like that, help soak some damage. So that's not going to be as effective anymore, but barbed wire could still be pretty useful to prevent runarounds, lizard run-bys, and things like that, but we'll see if she uses any of this game. Not a lot of great spots for it, I don't think. Well, actually, a couple pieces right there would be really nice. And overall, this map looks pretty good for Amistria. Several gristmills right here, the stubble high ground. I mean, you really can't complain. And Saint Abroad's not totally screwed here. He does at least have a natural expansion, so he'll be able to get up to 2 base play and try to get something done from there. Yeah, I'm sorry, Jet. Maybe one of these days I'll do an early show again just for you, man, because I do want to cast with you for sure. And I do apologize. I was hit up by a couple people to do a cast with me, and I do try to do that as often as possible, because casting this game is super fun. I know other people want to do it, and it's probably more enjoyable to have a couple people casting rather than just one. But I don't know, production value and stuff, I just didn't really have time to do the sound checks and all that kind of jazz. But Saint Abroad's moving in here for some aggression. So far he's been doing pretty good target firing down Amistria's squirrels. That's very, very important in this position, because if you don't target fire, a lot of those squirrel shots are going to get wasted on the gristmill instead. But so far so good from Saint Abroad. If he keeps this pressure up, you'll definitely get this gristmill, which wouldn't be the end of the world for Amistria, but she's definitely on the back end now, especially with this Warren placed up here. I mean, Saint Abroad's got some momentum with this push. As long as he stays on top of his target firing here, this might actually be too much. Yeah, and so far Saint Abroad is doing great with this push, and this Warren is just really extra. This is kind of insult to injury, you know, like losing that Gristmill wasn't the end of the world for Amicia, but losing this Warren is going to be absolutely huge. I'm not really sure what she can do from this position to come back into this game. Like, Saint Abroad is keeping this pressure up. Now he's taking the Gristmill to tank some hits in case, you know, Amicia is not super on top of her target firing. She's trying to throw down some barbed wire at the very last second now. Yeah, the barbed wire tanking was huge, but at the same time, you know, this barbed wire being low HP actually doesn't really matter since Saint Abroad can't attack the barbed wire with any of his units. But this is what I was worried about. Now that Saint's got this high ground, he can start building up these turrets, and now Amicia is pretty contained. I mean, fantastic play here from Saint Abroad. I love seeing guys get really hyper-aggressive on maps that are generally unfavored for them, you know? Because, I mean, if you just sat back and brought this to a macro game, Amicia would eventually win, right? Because she's just got so many more Gristmills on the map. But Saint Abroad's like, no, man, I'm going to play smart. I'm going to adjust my strategy. I'm going to be aggressive early on. And now Saint Abroad owns the entire map. So let's see if Amicia has got enough. Nice re-rally here. Knocks out those turrets. She's going to come in. This defender's advantage of Amicia is really kicking in here. Like, yeah, Saint Abroad's been taking better engagements for the most part, but his re-rally is just so far away, so his units are kind of trickling in, man. Definitely a little bit of a mistake here for Saint. You want to kind of try to group back up your squirrels, you know, especially when you have such a long re-rally like that. And not only that, but Saint also invested 3 farms onto this Gristmill, which are all going to go down. A very nice play here from Amicia, being able to break out of this, just keeps it calm, keeps it cool, you know, kind of gets up enough squirrels, calculates, all right, I've got enough here to try to move out, and takes it out. Jet Erickson asking, you know, it doesn't help your contain strategy. Big, says the gentleman. Yeah, man. It was a bit greedy from Saint Abroad for sure. I understand why Saint Abroad would want to try to, you know, build a couple pigs there, but he should have, you know, probably taken this gristmill back at home, you know, built 1 or 2 instead of just building them straight up here on the front lines. Jet was asking about the sound quality. I don't think so. As weird as it sounds to say, I feel like the output quality of the audio might be somewhat determined by your headphones. Like, when I've had different headphones on, it feels like, maybe I'm just wrong, but it feels like in the videos, the quality of the output is slightly different. And I have on some, like, really high-end, expensive audio, like musician headphones that I use for recording and stuff. So that might be it. Man, really cool to see everybody. You guys rock. I'm surprised I have good viewership here. I figured I'd be basically casting this just for the VOD. So, what's up, everybody? Good to have y'all here. And yeah, now Saint's just gonna try to come back and stabilize. Like, Amicia in a good spot, but I don't feel like Saint's out of this game. Like, I feel like he did the right thing here by really macroing up on these gristmills, and I don't even hate these couple turrets, right, to try to dissuade Amicia from moving out and attacking. And Amicia hasn't been slouching on her own economy, but she's, you know, only got 5 farms on that second base at the moment. I think she has a campfire too. I'll have to double check that in a second. Tries to come up here, but nice defensive positioning from Saint Abroad pushes her back from now. Yeah, she's got that campfire as well. So what's the move from here? Like, Amicia really hasn't seen... Oh, no, she has. Okay, she knows Saint Abroad's going really hard on that second base, so you always want to kind of try to stay toe-to-toe with your opponent, man. I've been playing a lot of matches lately, especially against high-level players, and, man, you really cannot neglect your scouting, man. Like, if you're having kind of trouble getting better at the game, you know, really, really try to scout your opponent as often as possible and try to think about things. And, you know, okay, if they've got 4 or 5 Warrens tier 1 at this moment, they can't mathematically have a tier 2, or they can't have an expansion. You know, little things like that are really, really important, especially in this mid-game phase, keeping tabs on your opponent's economy, because you can kind of get thrown off guard. I probably lose games from trying to macro up when my opponent is just going straight units, like more than anything else. And it's just from bad scouting, you know. Ooh, Amistria lost her commander there, but resurrects in time to bring these squirrels back in. So Amistria tried to really bludgeon her way in there. It didn't quite work. She got a little bit of damage done, but overall I think that trade was pretty decent for Saint Abroad. But Saints need to be careful, man. If Amistria target fires down that Falcon, then there you go. That was the real meat and potatoes is Saint Abroad's army here. So Amistria is going to come in again for another counterattack. She feels like she's got the upper hand. Trying to avoid those turrets, get up here on those tier 2 Warrens, knock those out. And this might be too much here for Saint Abroad. Yeah, Saint Abroad was just coming in to check out on what Amistria has got, sees the third base, sees a fully saturated second, and I don't think he's going to be much longer for this world. I might fast forward a little bit more than I normally do, like near ends of games and stuff tonight, so we can get through as much content as possible, because I gotta get going here pretty shortly. I'm gonna be stuck in traffic just for you guys, okay? I could have left earlier and like just smooth sailed all the way down there, but you know what? I was like, no, man, my people expect the feast. I'm gonna deliver it to them, even if that means I'll be a little bit longer on my commute time. Okay. Match number 2, guys. Let's get into it. All right, spawning in the bottom, we've got Big Pimpatosh. And his opponent up top, Raucous Bacchus. I'm serious, though, Jed, if you're still watching, man. You know what? I've actually got so many replays. The tournament's coming on this weekend, so we're going to have our hands full with that, but I've got such a large stock of replays at the moment, man. I wouldn't mind maybe doing an extra feast day on like a weekend, you know, at a time that works for both of us. Maybe not like this weekend because we're going to be doing the tournament both days. If you don't know about the Tooth and Tail PvP campaign, man, definitely check that out. A lot of hard work. I'm sure if you guys watch the show, you've heard me talk about it like every single show for the past month, so I'm sure you're aware of it, but definitely check that out, man. That's going to be so much fun. I'm really looking forward to it. So far, nothing crazy this game, man. Tosh rocking the Badger, Raucous Bacchus with the Fox. Overall, the map looks fairly even at first glance. You know, you could really nitpick this thing and say one guy's got advantage over the other, but, you know, my big takeaway is both players kind of have pretty easy access to 3 bases here. And you can't really complain about that. If anything, I'd say Raucous might have the better position, just because he's got this high ground here. Maybe he's got access to this campfire, but like this type of stuff right here, I don't really think is going to get taken this game. It might just be too contestable. If anything, Tosh probably has the campfire advantage with that one, right? Ooh, it looks like it's going to be Lizard versus Lizard here. Tosh already setting up aggressively. I actually like this Warren placement a lot out of Tosh. Jed Erickson says the whole event, the whole campaign is almost finished at this point. Really cool. Yeah, man, I'll coordinate with you on Discord. I would definitely like to maybe do an extra show to try to get through these submissions, man. Submissions have been rock solid, man. Keep sending them in. That doesn't mean stop sending me submissions. But definitely keep them coming, man. I do appreciate all the support. So, yeah, I mean, we're just gearing up for a little bit of Lizard versus Lizard war. This barbed wire is going to be great for Tosh here. Look at this. He's already trying to set up a couple pieces in positions to try to prevent that Lizard run around attack. I tried to say run around and run by at the same time. Number 1 caster, man. And Raucous teching in some squirrels. Squirrel Lizard is definitely really strong. I think in most situations it's probably better than just pure Lizard, unless your plan is to just go, you know, straight counter attack, straight run around style. So yeah, Raucous coming in, or Tosh was coming in just for a scout, and denied by Raucous there, but not a whole lot to see. Actually, as I say that, man, this Fox has been placed down. and Tosh is not aware, so that's a really big deal. But at the same time, Tosh has some units that are pretty good against the Fox. He's got Lizard and Chameleon, he's got Barbed Wire, and he's got Snakes in his deck, so all of those are pretty good answers for the Fox, so I don't think this is going to catch him like completely off guard and just kind of tap out, you know. So yeah, we'll have to see where this goes. I might fast forward a little bit here, because I do want to try to get through 13 replays as quick as I can so I can hit the road. So we're at the 4-minute mark here. Both players are just kind of gearing up. Lots of lizards here for both sides. But still, Tosh does not know. And Tosh's commander just died there. That's really bad for him, as his attacking force is not going to be microed. But still, he's got enough here to bludgeon his way in and deal some pretty decent damage to Raucous Pockets even without the micro. But not being able to micro did make his units overextend there. And the main reason for that, why Tosh just kind of slugged Raucous there so hard, was because Raucous has invested all this food into the Fox, which is just now hitting the board. And that's going to trigger Raucous to come in and put on some aggression of his own. Let's see. Tosh just wants to clear out everything else and then try to get this Fox. Oh no, you gotta move it a little faster. Gets it out of there in time. Yeah, Fox, it's rough to fight lizards with the Fox, man. Luckily, he's got some pigeons here to help heal it up fairly quickly. Yeah, now Tosh has really got to figure out a way to knock down this Fox. Gets it super low, 4 HP. Gotta be careful. That was actually really good on Tosh to not overcommit and chase too hard on the Fox there, because he would have just kind of suicided all his units into his opponent's army. Trying to get a good micro on this Fox from Raucous so far, keeping it alive. And he's starting to rack up some pretty good value with it. Tosh really needs to catch this Fox, or it might just start becoming too much damage here. Also, you got to remember, Raucous has the second base up and running. We're almost at the 6-minute mark here. Yeah, Tosh has the campfire, and Tosh is taking another gristmill, a second gristmill himself. But Raucous has the income advantage. Raucous is starting to rack up a lot of value here with this Fox. But if Big Pippetosh can get this Fox in a corner with all these lizards, he will be able to kill it. And there's nothing left to defend the Fox. It's heading towards the corner. This is not good. He's just knocking out these pigs just to make sure there's nothing left here to defend this Fox. And this is really well played by Tosh, I feel like. Like, he's not overcommitting onto that Fox. And that's a really hard thing to do. It takes a lot of discipline, man. Because it's just so tempting, especially when he's got the Fox low over and over again, to just be like, oh, I've got enough. I'm going to go in there and get it, you know? I've lost a ton of games like that. Because it can be so critical, man. If this Fox lives for too long, it will win the game for Raucous Pockets here. But now there might be enough lizards to hard commit onto this Fox. You're not going to be able to really stutter step fire here very well. And look at this, man. You know, Tosh is really just like, whatever. You've got this Fox. I've got a ton of lizards here. I'm just going to kill everything else. And then I'm going to jump onto your Fox. I think that's he's handling this very, very well. And again, man, Tosh has got to try to move this Fox into a corner. Nice little escape there from Raucous, but Raucous is just kind of running around. He's starving. He doesn't have an army. He doesn't have any food production anymore. And eventually these lizards will kill this Fox. Ooh, oh, what HP, Hero Fox, man. It's got no support. Oh my god, is it actually going to kill all the lizards? Very well done from Raucous there. Tosh doesn't have a whole lot left either. He's going to have to sell off most of these warrens here, build a couple farms, and try to get up as many lizards as possible. I probably would have went down to 6 lizards there, to be honest. Ooh, nice positioning of this Fox too. Just going to try to stay on top of these warrens and kill these lizards as they come out, man. Really great control from both players this game. I'm actually really thoroughly impressed. Here we go, though. That's going to be it. The Fox falls, and with that, Raucous' hopes of victory, and he taps out. Okay, I gotta do two things really, really quickly, guys. Gotta make sure my dryer is running. I gotta plug my phone into the charger. I'll be gone for, like, no time at all. A very, very short break, so don't go anywhere. Okay, okay. I told you that'd be a short break. Man of my word. So levels are good and everything, guys. Let me know. They look good to me. So let's keep this going, guys. Game number 3. All right, spawning in the left, we've got Chip from Space. And his opponent to the right, Pillow 8. The other night, I think it was Saturday night after the tournament, there was a new player. I drank some coffee at like 10 at night, just so I'd be like nice and perky to help cast the grand finals, you know? You guys don't want sleepy Delthius, you want energetic Delthius, right? And so I was just kind of up, you know, watching TV, playing a game on my phone, kind of monitoring the Discord, and new player came in, so everybody was kind of giving that person tips, and Chip came on at like 2:30 in the morning and challenged me to some games, and I was like, you know what, man, I'll do like 3 games. We ended up playing for like 3 hours at like 5 or 5:30 a.m. I was like, all right, dude, I have to go to sleep. I am way too old for this nonsense. It was a lot of fun though, man. Interested to see what these guys are going to do here. Chip, pretty interesting deck. He's been trying to run Wolf plus Owl lately. So cool to see that Wolf Badger combination. And he's kind of got a nice deck set up for the, you know, to kind of synergize, you know, with each other, right? Like the Badger Pigeon is also obviously the classic combo, and Wolf Falcon works very well. Obviously Wolf Badger. And then you got the squirrels and you got the turrets, just kind of as standard units to get you through the early game and to help, you know, have that nice bread and butter to your army. And meanwhile, Pillow 8, man, rocking some crazy nonsense as we expect to see out of Pillow 8. You know, squirrel, ferret, owl, and then a bunch of defense here. So I think the ferrets are mainly here, obviously to harass. I'm not so sure if that's going to be his strategy. Typically, Pillow likes to macro up, and the ferrets are just going to help, you know, deal with an opponent who tries to turtle up too hard, or later on when he's got a bunch of owls out, he can kind of force engagements with the ferrets. And the turret balloon arty cannon, man, really cool to see. Kind of representative of a macro style. I feel like, you know, Pillow 8 wants to get big, man. He wants to take a bunch of bases. He wants to set up a huge defensive line where you simply just can't attack into him, and then throw down a bunch of owls. Now Chip from Space going for the classic 8 farm 2 tier 1 into a tier 3 build, and Pillow 8 is just going so hard on the green, man. Like, it's 230 in and just at 240, and look at that, 6 farms on the second base. That's a really cool answer to a fast tier 3, especially 2 fast tier 3s, because, you know, Pillow's gonna have a good minute and a half until Chip really has an army that's worth a damn out here, right? So Pillow's got plenty of time to macro this up, to start placing down some defense to make up for this greed. Yeah, and I imagine he's gonna want to start, you know, throwing down the big boys here shortly. Gonna get a couple more squirrels, but I'd really like to see some defense come out of Pillow 8 here soon. You know, he's got the macro engine behind this to really support, you know, that big style with a lot of defense. And here we see the first artillery cannon, probably going to leapfrog up that last turret. Yep. And this is looking good for Pillow. Now Chip, though, Chip is going to have a really scary army, man. Wolf Badger going to be coming out at about the same time. Maybe this Wolf will help get that Badger out a little more quickly, help Chip take a couple more, you know, help his income a little bit here. All right, so Wolf's on the board. Nice defensive line coming up for Pillow 8 here. Now, if Chip really wanted to, he can kind of walk all the way around like this and maybe try to hit in where the defense isn't. But I'm curious what you do. Like, I oftentimes really find myself struggling in situations like this where, I mean, look at Pillow, man. You are not going to break this defense. And you kind of have to, because the man's on 3 bases already. We're not even 5 minutes in yet. Here comes this buffed up Badger. Let's see if Chip thinks he's got enough to just break this. Maybe he's going to try to find a couple spots. Oh, that steroid ends at the wrong time for him. He's trying to pull the woof over to get it buffed up again. There it goes. He's just going to try to come in and poke with this Badger and get down what he can. Well done so far from Chip. Chip floating a lot of money, though. Needs to think about a second base of his own. And this third base is going to be difficult to take, but I don't think it's out of the question. I think where that Artie is, it's not going to be in range to just straight up hit this base. You know, maybe this corner farm. I mean, the new range on the artillery cannons is pretty ridiculous. So you never know. It's going to be a hard base for Chip to take, but he's got no choice. He's got to get his economy going here to do something against Pillow's economy. I mean, look at that, man. Classic Pillow 8 style here. Just going up to a ton of balloons. Owl number 1 on the way. Lots of squirrels to back this up. And a huge economy. And meanwhile, Chip did go ahead and fully saturate up his second base. I agree with that completely. I wonder if Chip is going to go for another Badger here, or maybe try to get in some Falcons eventually. But since he's got Pigeons, he can just kind of run in here, you know, micro this Badger, let it get low, let it deal some damage, come back, heal it up, rinse and repeat. Man, Pillow's even got a 4th base up here. And I love how Pillow really got out on the map with his defense line. And then he saved that 4th base for later, because that 4th base is basically a pocket base for Pillow at this point, right? Oh, man, Pillow doing a good job kind of backing that Badger into a corner, but doesn't quite have enough DPS to take it down. It got down to 6 HP before the Wolf and the Pigeon there got to support it. Here we go, just trying to do what he can with this Badger. And so far, I feel like it's been pretty successful. He's gotten a lot of damage done to Pillow 8. I mean, just look at that graph just kind of go up and down a little bit, you know. And as you can see, Chip's really not losing anything. Nice denial on that defense there. Just going to come in and try to do what he can against these pigs, against these squirrels. And gets that Badger out when it's, you know, when it's low, but when it's not too low to where it could possibly die, you know. Now this is going to start getting scary for Pillow, though. He's going up to 3 owls here. Look at this defense, man. Like, you are never going to break that. I think this is a really great strategy from Chip to try to poke and prod in at the sides of the defense. Like, ideally, this is really bad for Chip here, because ideally what he was trying to do with this Badger was prevent this defense from going up, you know. And so he'd have that little window to get in there and do damage. But look at this, man. 11 balloons, 7 turrets, artillery cannon. I wouldn't be surprised to see another artillery cannon go down at some point. Just absolutely insane. I wouldn't even hate to see Pillow sell off his squirrels at this point, you know, for more owls maybe. Like, I don't think he really needs those 9 squirrels anymore, but they're not really. I mean, it's fine. He doesn't have to do that. Okay, now Chip is going to come try to wiggle around like I was talking about earlier. And Pillow had to be aware that this was an option here, but he must have just kind of decided, you know what, I'm just going to kind of cross my fingers and hope this doesn't happen. Chip needs to be careful, though. I don't think he can... Oh, these owls come in and start wrecking on Chip's main base. He's going to try to come in and engage from this angle here. And is he actually going to be able to break through all this defense? This buffed up Badger just doing so much work, man. And he's got enough squirrels on the ground to try to soak up these balloon shots. He gets a good amount of that defense knocked out, but we might just be in a base race situation here as Pillow is just using his owls to just knock everything out on Chip's side of the map. Ooh, Chip coming around the back, though. Badger's still putting in a bunch of work. Can't quite take that gristmill, but he will be able to take the gristmill and Pillow's main if he wants. just to make sure he doesn't die here. But he might not have enough time. Oh, he's got the campfire too. Okay. But still, like, Pillow 8 could come in, probably kill the Gristmill if he targets it and kill that campfire. And knock Chip out. Chip still hasn't started another Gristmill. He really needs to stop trying to start that one, man, as it's in range of the artillery there. And Chip's army is basically dead at this point. Oh, but Pillow 8 didn't kill the, he hasn't scouted this campfire. That's going to be Chip's saving grace to stay into this game. Otherwise, Pillow would have just straight up won from there. And Pillow's still in a great position. But this is Chip from space here, man. And he doesn't have many units, but he's got some strong units here. But I don't know if it's going to be enough to deal with that many mice coming in here. The wolf is going to die. Gotta keep this badger alive. I don't think it's going to happen, though. And from there, Pillow should take the game. What an insane match. Joe P. Walters in the chat. Hey, can I still submit a replay? You absolutely can. It won't be on today's show, though. I can probably get it on Thursday's show, though. All right. We got a new submitter here, guys. These look like European names. So all you Europeans get to laugh at me trying to pronounce things. So let's get into it, guys. Yeah, typically I put the show together like an hour before I go live. Normally I'm live at 8. I started early today, so around 7. Like, try to submit before 7 the day of. Basically before an hour in advance. Because a lot of times I try to get that replay pack put together as quickly as I can. But in the left, guys, we've got Jalakim. And his opponent to the right, Vergikilla. Alright, what we got here? We got some Wolf vs. Badger. Okay. Both players with Squirrel Lizard. We see the barbed wire here from Vergikiller, which could come into play here. Barbed wire is a great utility unit to try to prevent those lizard runaround attacks, which, lizard runaround attacks are very, very common. If you're a lizard player and you're not doing counterattacks or base trades or all-in, dives and stuff like that, definitely work that into your play, man. That's where the lizards really shine, and the barbed wire absolutely helps that out a ton. Imagine if is that Virgilkilla? Okay, Virgil, maybe. We'll say Virgilkilla. We'll go with that. But yeah, imagine if he was like gonna move out with a big attack and he assumes that Jalakim is gonna try to come in, counterattack, and base trade. He can just throw down a bunch of barbed wire right here, try to cut him off from doing that in advance. So Jalakim trying to be pretty greedy here. He goes straight up to a tier 2 Warren. He's going to use that turret to try to dissuade Vergilkiller from coming in and attacking in the meantime. But Killa's already got some units on the way and decides to back out for now. So we're going to have some really fast chameleons here. This is definitely a risky build that Jalakim went for, but I think he's executing it well. I think that turret is perfect. He didn't go crazy on the turrets, but Killa's going to come in and try to wrap around to get on top of that tier 2 Warren, but the chameleon's already out. The chameleon just does fantastic in these small, scrappy numbers. And little engagements like this, it really, really shines. And that chameleon's basically going to be unkillable in situations, like 5-6 lizards or something like that. So Jalakim going to move out just with this chameleon. Maybe try to get some sneaky plays with it, but he gets busted here. He needs to re-stealth it, and it goes down. The campfire also gets picked up, so very nice for Killa there. And Killa's trying to take an expansion. Really, really weird map we've got here, to be honest. Like, lots of trees, lots of little terrains and water and choke points and alleyways. So Jalakim's probably not even aware of that second base at this moment, but takes his own. I mean, we're almost at the 3-minute mark here, so that's a pretty decent time to be taking an expansion anyways. But yeah, so far, I mean, we're just kind of in Squirrel Lizard versus Squirrel Lizard plus some chameleons. It's going to come down to execution here. I don't think either player really has a huge advantage just on army composition. But this is a pretty big investment over here by Vergilkilla on the second base. He decides to tone it back a little bit, just go up to 3 farms. That's not bad, I don't mind that. I think that's a decent number. But oh, look at this. Chameleon's just kind of chilling there. He's trying to wait for some type of little move out. Both players also going for their tier 3s already. And I don't think either one is aware. I'm a bit worried for Jalakim here, though, because he hasn't scouted this second base. So he might actually think he's ahead on economy right now, right? Gonna come in here and try to do something with these chameleons. Looks like he's just gonna try to bust down a few Warrens. I mean, whatever damage you can get is fine, but he needs to stealth those and get them out of there. Nicely done. Snipes a Warren and backs out for now. Okay. Might fast forward a little bit here, guys. I apologize. I am in a little bit of a rush today, whatever time it is. Tonight for you European guys. I bet you European guys are happy that feast is a little early today. Okay, yeah, he's gonna try going again. Let's go with that button, though, a little bit on the chameleons, but comes in here, gonna take down another Warren. He sees the tier 3. I wonder why he hasn't jumped on it. Yeah, I think he just was trying to be, you know, not be risky. Make sure he keeps these chameleons safe. But again, I think the big story, the big story of this game is really this second base from Killa. Like, that thing is just rocking it, man. Very high income, but Jalakim's finally getting his second base up to par as well. Now, is Killer aware of Jalakim's second? No, so neither player is actually aware that their opponent's taking an expansion. So they might both be thinking to themselves, like, oh, I'm way ahead right now. You know, when in reality, they're pretty even. Hey, look at that army value, exactly even for the moment. Tier 3s have hit the board. And Virgil Killer is going to use that as an opportunity to move out. He's got a nice little composition here, pretty heavy on the lizards and pigeons, which are going to complement this Badger fairly nicely. Let's see if he's got some good Badger micro here. He's going to want to come in mainly just with the Badger, but he's going to move everything forward and try to start this fight. The Wolf is coming out. It's buffed up some of those tier 1 units, but just gets mowed down from this force from Virgil Killer here. Now he's going to start working on these tier 2 Warrens, and this is going to be rough for Jalakim, man. But as long as he can keep his critical units alive, maybe he can stabilize. We'll have to see. These turrets are doing a good job kind of sniping off these reinforcing units here from Virgil Killa. But Killa's got a lot of momentum, and he's going to try to take advantage of it. Jalakim trying to get up on top of that Badger. Target fire down. His Wolf goes down, though. And Killa's going to use that as an opportunity to kind of step back and be like, all right, I'm doing really well in this fight. I don't want to overextend. I like this decision from Killa quite a bit. Maybe he identified, man, these turrets are really messing up his re-rally. But, oh, if Jalakim just knew about this base, he could start shelling it from over the wall with these ferrets. I would love to see that this game. Nice sell on those turrets from Jalakim. Pocket that extra bit of food here, as Virgil Killa is going to come in and just dominate more and more of the infrastructure here from Jalakim. Jalakim's in a tight spot, but he's not giving up yet, man. As long as he can hold on with this little choke. I like the turret positioning. Maybe he can stay in the game a bit longer. But Killa's not going to give up. He's going to move in here yet again. Those turrets doing a great job adding a lot of DPS to Jalakim's army here. Killa gonna move in again, and oh my god, the Badger got down to 8 HP, even with 8 pigeons healing it, and somehow Jalakim takes a great engagement there. Some nice defender's advantage. Virgil kind of attacking into that choke. Man, those two turrets, he sold the one off. I like that a lot, but those 2 turrets, man, are definitely the MVPs here. Somebody needs to give those turret engineers a bonus, as they are really the reason Jalakim is still in this game. But Killa's still in a great spot. He's got a fully saturated up third base. He might have a few too many Warrens for his economy. Yeah, it looks like he realizes that, sells off a couple, and is going to wait to rinse and repeat. And the main thing, the most important thing here for Virgil Killa is that he kept this Badger alive. That's absolutely huge. You know, Jalakim lost his Wolf there, and he doesn't have the money to throw down another Wolf Warren anytime soon. He needs to focus on keeping this economy growing. But Virgil's going to try to come in and attack into this position again. Actually finds a little spot that he can run in. Well done. I didn't actually notice that, but got to be careful. He almost got himself caught in a cave convex situation, and all these lizards from Jalakim are doing a great job hopping on top of this badger, but it's not going to be enough. The badger stays alive, but that's really it, man. The rest of Virgil's army gets knocked out there, and Jalakim wants to chase, but he ran out of lizards. Lizards are definitely fantastic units at taking out tier 3 like badgers and foxes. Okay, so we're kind of stabilizing here. Like, that was a big victory that Jalakim needed there, and his economy is doing well. You know, I feel like both teams, or both players rather, are in pretty similar positions. It's really going to come down to these engagements here. Virgil's been doing a great job keeping this badger alive, but if somehow Jalakim can get his lizards on top of that badger and knock it out, that might be all Jalakim needs to win this game. So Jalakim is going to want to force this game to a finale relatively soon, man, because he doesn't really have a 4th base option on this map. Virgil Kill has got this nice 4th in the pocket. He can take that whenever he wants, and yeah, there's this base down here down south, but you know, Jalakim's kind of been pushed back into this corner. You know, he doesn't have the map presence to really secure that base. Nice micro here, just bringing the ferret up and trying to poke with it, get whatever value he can. Let's see if he thinks he's got enough for a hard engage. Ooh, needs to be careful running all of his units into the water like that. That's going to give Virgil a nice engagement here, but Jalakim's got enough units that he just runs over what Virgil Kill has got. Manages to get this badger down pretty low, but not going to be able to kill it. Backs out before that badger just mows everything down. And Jalakim's going to re-rally from there. But look at Virgil Killa too, like trying to take this base next. Like, that's enormous. If Killa can actually secure this position. Now it looks like it's gonna just get taken out from Jalakim here, but I like the concept of what he's trying to do here. You know, if he could take this base, that he's got that like 1 o'clock base, even still, you know, for later on. All right, man, Jalakim's got the superior army, but Virgil Killa's got the badger, and he's been doing pretty good with his badger micro all game long, so he might be able to make a miracle happen here. Badger number 2 on the way as well. Virgil getting a bit out of position, though, with his army, and Jalakim gonna hop on top of that warren, knock it out, and actually get great surface area on the rest of Virgil's army. This badger's backed into a quarter. Oh, the ferret shots actually take it down. Jalakim should probably be able to seal this out from here. Nice decision making from Jalakim all game long. I feel like it was pretty well played from both sides. You know, he was in a really rough position after Virgil Killa, you know, moved in and did so much critical damage early on when he lost that wolf. So props to coming back and securing that game. Okay, where are we at? Match number 5, guys. Let's do it. All right, spawning the bottom, we have Blackmore Crest. And his opponent up top, this ain't no game. It is a game, though. So, Boar versus Badger. Both players with Falcon. Yeah, we got some toads here from my boy Blackmore Crest. He knows what's up, man. And these toads might actually come in handy here against the lizards from This Ain't No Game. We're gonna have to see how these players want to open this up, though. Before that, I mean, This Ain't No Game might not even really build the lizards. He certainly doesn't have to. But lizards are kind of one of those units you want to build, not necessarily as your first couple things, unless you're trying to get really... I don't feel like you can even really get it super aggressive with like 6 lizards. You can secure the map, but the defender's advantage of the opponent's squirrel should rock the lizards if they try to just straight up dive, you know, and 6 lizards for 6 squirrels early on, you know, onto the gristmill or onto the structures or something like that. But I feel like you still can open up lizards. You're just not going to really get super aggressive until you hit like 9, 12, 15 of them. But this ain't no game. Just going to go for the squirrels for now. Blackmore Crest floating a little bit of money, but that's okay. We see guys a lot of times, kind of extend out how long they can be out on the map, come home right when they have 120 food, and throw down 2 Warrens. I think that's a perfectly reasonable play. The only time that could really bite you in the ass is if your opponent opened aggressive, with like a 5-farm Warren or something. Then you're going to have late units to defend with. But so far, even from both players. This map looks better for This Ain't No Game, but I think Blackmore Crest could kind of wiggle himself out over here, take this base as a second, snag this campfire, and he'd probably be in okay shape. So we'll have to see where these guys want to progress the game from here. Pretty standard opening, 3 tier 1 into tier 2. I think 2 tier 1 into tier 2 is also good, but 3 tier 1 into tier 2 is a little bit safer. I like that Blackmore sold the toads off as he didn't see any lizards from his opponent. Toads are still pretty good, but me and Chip did a lot of like experimenting with them the other night, and I feel like you really got to get up to like bigger numbers for toads to come into play. Like once you have like 12, 15 squirrels and 9 toads, that's where toads really shine. But like 9 squirrels and 3 toads, not so much, because the opponent can kind of snipe off those toads relatively easily, unless your opponent has lizards, and then even 3 toads is still pretty good against lizards. So we're gonna see Chameleon versus Skunk here, and really that matchup can go either way. It's gonna depend on the focus firing. If This Ain't No Game can get those chameleons up onto the skunks and target fire down those pretty quickly, that's going to be great for him. If not, the skunks can micro pretty heavily as well, but skunks are typically better against squirrels than they are lizards, but I still think they're okay against lizards. And second base coming down here for our KSR player. Looks like he doesn't really want to put on any aggression for the time being, just kind of maybe wants to get up to a nice healthy 2-base economy, and then maybe take it into a boar from there, or just build several more tier 2. He's got a lot of options, and yeah, I mean, lots of tier 2 coming down from both players so far. And Blackmore Crest is building that toad count up, man. I'd love to see a few more toads, and then they just get really, really effective. Like, you just are not going to target fire down 9 toads in time. It's just not going to happen. All right, little runaround attack here from This Ain't No Game. This should be pretty effective as Blackmore Crest is not in position. He's going to target fire down that tier 2 Warren immediately. Nice pickup here. He's going to be a bit greedy, try to go for this other one as well. I like this. Ooh, is he going to get it though? It's got to be close. Just barely ends up getting it. Even picks up a toad. Man, I'll trade 2 tier 2 Warrens and a tier 1 unit for 6 lizards any day of the week. Fantastic value there for This Ain't No Game. And now he feels confident enough to even come in and start harassing this expansion from Blackmore Crest here. Now, these toads are actually going to do pretty good against the chameleons as well. It's not going to be the end of the world if the chameleons, or if the toads detonate onto the chameleons, as they do pretty high single target damage on it. Obviously, ideally, you want those toads to blow up on your opponent's tier 1, but it's not as much of the end of the world as it used to be, back when they did less single target damage. Lots of explosions going off here. The chameleons dropped immediately, I think, to the toads. And Blackmore Crest takes a nice engagement, just barely has enough to push in here. He keeps the skunk alive, gets some damage done. He's going to back up, though, for the time being. Re-rally his army, let him heal up a little bit. And he definitely needs to strike again here shortly, though. Needs to keep the pressure on as he's got the momentum. Yeah, and I think this is just going to be too much from here. Blackmore Crest takes the match. Early show. Yeah, early show, guys. I got to get going for work here soon. I got to travel tonight. I got a few hours of driving ahead of me, and I thought, you know what? Instead of canceling, for all you lovely nerds out there, I would just try to do the show early. So I'm going to try to blaze through this as quick as I can tonight. I even put on a 13th game. And yeah, so, and I'm going to see if I can figure out how to set up a rerun for 8 o'clock, and I'll just have the show rerun at 8 for the guys who tune in at regular time. But, dude, fantastic viewership for this random time that I happen to go live, so I appreciate it, guys. Replay submissions have been awesome lately. Keep sending them to me, though. ToothAndTailTV@gmail.com. Game number 6. I was talking about an extra weekend show, but not this weekend, Premium Bow, because this weekend we've got the Tooth and Tail PvP campaign going on. But on the right, guys, speaking of Premium Bow, we've got Premium Bow and James Bowring. And their opponents to left, 2 Trailer Park Girls and Dingo Dancing. The chips in that one game. Oh no, I'm sorry, it says Pillow. Yeah, that was a really cool game, Pillow. That was the one where you got up to like 3 bases super quickly and just a ton of freaking defense. I think you got up to like 11 balloons. Now, I know that's probably not the most descriptive game. You're like, which game did I get up to 3 bases and a bunch of defense, right? But anyways, let's see what's going on in this match. 5 Farm Lizard openings from James and Premium. I think that's pretty smart in 2v2. Dingo Dancing following suit as well. But Trailer Park's trying to just kind of brace for impact here, throwing down a little bit of barbed wire, building a lot of farms. And I don't know, man. I'm feeling worried for Trailer Park Girls here. You know, if these lizards go around the outside, they're gonna pick up some farms. Did anybody get that joke? If anybody got that joke, let me know. I thought it was pretty good. All right, here we go. Here we go. James is coming around. See if he can weasel his way into a nice cheeky little pig or two pickup. Trailer Park just trying to build like a piece or two of barbed wire, which typically I think is pretty efficient, but he's just so open here. I don't think that would really work. Nice damage there from James, and Premium Bow tries to get something done, but it looks like Dingo deflected it pretty well. And let's see where these guys want to take it from here. This map is pretty nuts. Lots of gristmills for both players, or both teams, I should say, so I'm not super worried about that. At the very least, each team has access to an easy second base. You know, when you start talking about third bases, it does look favored for green and blue here. But we'll see if the game even goes that long. All right, so where do these guys want to take it? You know, kind of waiting to see if anyone's just going to keep flooding on tier 1, if we're going to try to, you know, safely get up to some tier 2, maybe take a risk and throw down a tier 3 Warren, or just go for an expansion. Those are really kind of the options the players have available towards them at the moment. And James and Premium with that Wolf Fox combo, we saw that work really, really well when I had Andy on guest casting with me. Looks like these decisions have been made on where they're going to take the game. Premium Bow opts to take an expansion. Everybody else racing right up to their tier 3. Now, the question is, how aware are each teams about that? So, Red and Yellow has scouted the tier 3 from James, and 1 tier 3 has been scouted for our green and blue team, and lots of farms coming up here for Premium Bow. This, hopefully he'll stay alive, man. I'm imagining once the tier 3 is on the board here for Red and Yellow, they're gonna move out. But looks like they're okay. I was thinking maybe they're gonna move out now anyways, after seeing how greedy Premium's been. I didn't even have to scout him to know when he was getting the foxes, Premium. Hey, your opponents aren't getting the fox here. What are you talking about? They're getting other tier 3. Oh, James trying to come in with a couple of cheeky little toads there, man. See, everyone asks about toad regen. Look at that. Look at that wounded toad that could benefit from some fast. Oh my god, those blasts were amazing there for James Bowring. Fantastic defense. And that's going to allow James to get that fox out. It's going to allow Premium Bow to be super greedy here. And Red's really the only guy in this game without an expansion. These guys are not messing around on their expansion farm count either, man. Really going up to half saturation, working their way up to full saturation pretty quickly. All right, James got the fox out. He's a great fox player, so I'm looking for some magic here. The boar and the wolf are also on the board for Red and Yellow. I'm saying boar too much. I gotta change that up with some other nouns. Maybe like a field. The battlegrounds. There are other options. I need a thesaurus here. Delthisaurus. I don't know. I tried, guys. Just pretend I ever said that. All right, this game's shaping up, man. We got a nice match here. Both teams are starting to enter this big game without taking any critical amounts of damage. And red and yellow are going to try to come in with a hard engage with that board. The board goes down. I don't think it did too much there. Actually, a lot of the tier 1 went down for green and blue. The premium doesn't even have any tier 1 anymore. He tried to tech switch into the Falcon. And nice attack here from red and yellow. This might be too much damage. You know, premium losing that second base. You know, the important units for green and blue go down. Now the wolf is here for premium bow. But a wolf and a handful of tier 2 units might not be enough firepower to clean this up. As I say that, it totally is. Oh, those chameleons buffed up. Take out the enemy wolf. That is huge. Very nice defense there from premium bow. A lot of damage got dealt. But he manages to stabilize. He manages to re-rally enough forces to push that back. And green and blue are going to come in and try to get some counter-aggression done here. Might be a bit of an overextension, though. We'll have to see. No. Man, I always underestimate the Falcon-Wolf combo. We really don't see that as often anymore as we should. Like, those Falcons are just absolutely insane when they get buffed up by the Wolf. Getting a ton of damage done, but I'm worried for premium bow. He is overextending. And that Wolf, he's going to pay the price. He loses basically the rest of the army for the overextension. Trailer Park Girls hung on to that board war, and he's got another one out. Meanwhile, Dingo sells off that Wolf in lieu of something else. Let's see, he's got a bunch of food. He's just going to go back to the basics here, try to get out a bunch of lizards. And Trailer Park Girls has no economy. He's got nothing left, man. He's going to have a boar and 2 falcons and try to hang on to this game. And James is kind of in the same boat. You know, as far really nobody's got a whole lot left now that I'm looking at it. These guys have kind of beat each other back down into the Stone Age here. Nice little attack here from Dingo Dancing with these falcons. Gonna move in and try to get some damage done, but premium bow here with his own flock of falcons. Then what was the word? Somebody last time. Isn't it a quorum for predatory birds? Because flock is incorrect for a predatory bird. I'm not gonna go back down that road though. Nice micro here from James. Poking and prodding with this fox, getting what he can. And Trailer Park Girls is now starving. He needs to get a second base up. He doesn't have the income. Okay, he's got exactly 60 food. He's got to sell off those pigeon warrens. Maybe a couple of those mines even. And be able to afford getting an economy back up and running. God, look at that graph. Looks like some kind of abstract artwork. Nice pickup on the boar there from James. That hurts, man. That boar is really all Trailer Park Girls had left, man. That was really his bread and butter. All right, you guys had to have got that joke. Okay. Man, James is really getting a ton of work here done with this fox. Picking out tier 3 units, picking off tier 2 units. Dingo Dancing running around though. 18 lizards, gonna be plenty to knock this gristmill down. And that puts James in a pretty rough situation. But James still has that fox though, and as long as he just keeps microing it well, he can still really be contributing to this game. And Trailer Park Girls here really is just on a 1-farm economy, trying to build up some pigeons. But it's difficult for him to even take a second base, right? Like, he's tried to take this base several times, but it's out in the middle of the map. It's pretty easy for green and blue to come in and harass it. Look at all those lizards. That actually might be a big enough lizard pack here to catch this fox, but James knows it and backs out in time. Alright, so red's just basically dead here. Really, Dingo Dancing is in a 2v1 situation. And trying to do what he can, trying to secure the space over here. And green and blue have stabilized pretty well. James's economy is still pretty small. Premium really got to put the team on his back here, economically. Man, look how much damage James has just been getting done with this fox, though. Really impressive. But he might have backed himself into a corner here. Let's see if Dingo can catch him. He's going to hit that mine, too. That's going to be it for the fox. Nicely done by Dingo Dancing there, finally knocking that pesky Kasha out of the game. And it looks like James is actually gonna just go all in on trying to afford another Fox here. I don't blame him, man. I think he was really contributing with that Kasha micro. So why not? Let's see. Yeah, he decides. Oh, he was so close. He had like 150 food. Instead, oh yeah, the toads make sense. You know, against all those lizards, it's going to be rough for the Fox from here on out anyways. So I guess he decides, you know what, I'm just going to macro up. I'm going to get some toads and try to help out old Premium Bo that way. Poor Trailer Park Girls, man. Starving again as that campfire got knocked out at some point here. I think Premium probably ran up there with some lizards and knocked it out. Oh man, I'm starving. I think I'm gonna get some Chick-fil-A when I hit the road. It's gonna be so good. I've been like exercising a lot lately and trying to eat right. I've lost 10 pounds, man. I'm super proud of myself. But working out is pretty brutal, and eating less food sucks. Yeah, the lizards against James, definitely a good call here. And this big lizard pack even forces James to tech out of that Fox, you know, build up a couple of those toads. But now Dingo's getting the woof, and now finally, Trailer Park Girls established some kind of economy, but mean old Premium Bo here, not going to let that happen. Just going to come in with a handful of lizards here and deny this expansion. Put Trailer Park Girls in a starving position again, and this time, he's out of the game, man. His only option is to sell off those mines. Now, if this Gristmill stays alive, I guess he can sell off the mines, plant a farm here. Otherwise, he's going to have to sell these mines and grab this campfire up top. Okay. Pretty long match here. We're 12 minutes in. And I think slowly but surely, green and blue are just going to be able to out-muscle their opponents here, as Trailer Park just really got crippled early on and was never able to really come back here. I mean, Premium Bo probably could have ended this game earlier. I mean, look at this army that he's just been kind of stockpiling. I'm going to deny that expansion again for Trailer Park Girls. That poor guy. Trying his hardest, man. He's got 2 mines left. He can sell those mines and take that campfire again, or take a farm down here. Now, Premium Bo is also getting pretty close to starving, but he's secured this 3rd base up top. He's going to get that going, and he's got a really strong standing army. All right, where's the big engage? Trailer Park Girls, I believe, just tapped out there. They realized, okay, man. There's nothing I can do. He might have starved out. I don't think so, though. I think he had a longer guy. Alright, so it looks like we're finally gearing up for the conclusion of this game. Lots of lizards coming down here from James. Just throwing down these tier 1 Warrens. Geared up for this big attack. Let's see it, man. Now, Dingo Dancing has a pretty sizable army, man. Lots of Falcons and a Wolf here. But he's going to be 2v1. I think he might be able to take either of these guys, you know, one-on-one, but both of them together might be too much here. Oh, and there's no more lizards from Dingo Dancing to deny this Fox. Ooh, needs to be careful, though. Almost just he's going to pick it up with these boosted up Falcons, I think. Ooh, there it goes. So really, but 23 lizards here from James. And here we go. Now the army's moved out far enough for green and blue to decide, okay, we feel safe taking this engagement. That's going to be it. Green and blue take the match. Okay. Let's keep going, guys. Match number 7. Alright, spawning on the left, we've got the Red Dinosaur. And his opponent to the right, Lord Weasel. Okay, both players with ferrets and balloons. Balloons have been becoming more and more popular lately, just because ferrets are so in the meta. So it's kind of like, you know, you can run ferret turret, sure, which I still like, but it makes a lot of sense to me to run ferret balloon because obviously the ferrets cannot hit that balloon, right? So it kind of gives you an advantage if you get into that ferret war situation. Let's see how these guys decide to open this matchup, if we see any aggression or if they're just going to go straight up to 8 farm Warrens. It looks to be the case. No tier 3 here for the red dino, but he's got a nice, well-rounded composition in here, I feel like. I think he can put together a very strong mid-game army and try to push in for the win, where Lord Weasel's kind of... I feel like he's kind of got this jack of all trades deck, right? Where he's got like Squirrel, Pigeon, Skunk, which is a nice early to mid game for us. He's got the ferrets, not necessarily to build them every single game, but just in case he needs them. And then if the game starts getting pretty late, you know, he can throw out the owls. He can start splitting the map with balloons. So mirror build so far. You can even see the food count timed up perfectly here, so that's always cool to see. Let's see if anyone wants to go for a fast tier 2 or if we're just going to build a lot of tier 1 from now. That campfire, I think that's a nice time for Red Dino to grab that campfire, unless he's trying to go for some really precise attack. That's the only time I'd really... I mean, I feel like if you want to be safe about it, you can normally get away with taking a campfire after your first 2 tier 1 Warrens are bought and paid for. But... there are situations where you shouldn't take the campfire if you're trying to go for a big timing attack, right? Where you're like, I want to hit him with 15 squirrels, you know, right at the 2-minute 45 mark or something like that, and hopefully catch him off guard with it. All right, Red Dino teching into that Chameleon, and so far Lord Weasel is just building lots and lots of tier 1. Now, these toads could come in handy against a big clump of squirrels, but toads in this small number, it might be difficult. If Lord Weasel is on top of his target firing, he can pretty easily target fire down those few toads before they hit. So yeah, Lord Weasel gonna try to catch Red Dino before the tier 2 is out. He's kind of scouted, he's looked at what Red Dino has, he thinks he's got enough. One Chameleon will be here, but lots of squirrels here. Lord Weasel, though, really needs to focus down these toads. If those toads connect, could be huge. One of them gets off and still does a nice amount of damage here. Chameleon up front tanking a whole lot. That's going to be enough for Red Dino to take this engagement with flying colors. Very nicely done there. I don't blame Lord Weasel for trying that attack, but he didn't expect the Chameleons. He didn't quite target fire down all the toads. So that should put Red Dino in a pretty favorable position this match. And for now, it looks like he's just going to probably wait for these tier 2 units to get out. Maybe throw down a couple more tier 1 Warrens and then try to push out for a big strike. Lord Weasel getting to his own tier 2. He will have skunks on the field here shortly. And Red Dino taking that second base. I normally don't mind taking a second base like right before I'm about to move out in situations like this. That way, because your money's gonna float a little bit during the engagement, you know. So then when you're done with the fight, you can just come home and spend that money on taking some extra bases or taking some extra farms. Nice denial there, and here we go. Red Dino coming in, trying to tank with this gristmill, but it doesn't quite work the way it used to. But it still gets a little bit of damage done. And overall, Red Dino takes a fantastic engagement there. I was worried for him as that skunk gas kind of caught a lot of his army in that little choke position. And Red Dino's going to keep the pressure up, man. He's got this nice new rally point. He's got this high ground. He can let his units heal up a bit from here. And needs to be careful, though. The skunks can definitely make miracles happen, especially if he catches the tier 1 units trying to clump up, you know, in between the gristmill and the wall there. Gonna try to, actually nice little surface area there for Lord Weasel. Some good target firing, killing that skunk pretty quickly. Chameleon's doing a great job in these little fights, man. Now he's gonna start poking in with the ferret. I like this play because it kind of forces your opponent to respond to it, and your opponent can't really respond to it because you're just ahead of them at this point, right? And Red Dino's got the momentum, he's got the tempo, He should have no problem taking the game from here. Boom. Very nicely done. I like it. You know, it was a good build order. He utilized most of the units in his deck, if not all of them. He deflected that big tier 1 push from Lord Weasel pretty early on, and with some good counter aggression, with some good momentum, some good target firing, takes the match. Okay, 6 more. I think I can get through 6 more. I do need a very short break though, guys. I will be back in just a couple minutes. Okay, I'm back, guys. Nice and refreshed. Got some ice water. Let's keep this thing going, guys. Hop into match number 8. Okay, spawning in the bottom left, we've got Meowkaiser. And his opponent to the right, Vladlad. Okay, we see Owls from both players here. Owls have kind of been making a comeback in the meta. Really cool to see. I think the tier 3 meta is pretty healthy at the moment. We see boars, badgers, foxes, wolves, owls. We see all of it pretty regularly. I think wolf is fine, but it's just kind of like harder to pull off, you know what I mean? Like, wolf's almost this combo unit. You can't just like throw a wolf in your deck as your 6th pick and hope it works. Like, you have to have a reason to put the wolf in the deck, you know? Or something like the owl. I mean, a lot of times you can just throw it in. I mean, you see these guys pair it with some defense here, you know, the ferret from Vladlad. But it could just be, you know, hey, I want to commit one of my deck positions to having a nice strong late game. So I'm going to throw that owl in there. This is a nice position for Meowkaiser. It's going to be very difficult for Vladlad to ever come in here and attack this main base. But if Meowkaiser is not careful, Vladlad could just gobble up the rest of this map. So he needs to get out here. and start claiming some of this territory. I mean, you know, if Meowkaiser can claim everything over here, you know, he'd be in fantastic shape. Yeah, I'm trying to think, like, Vladlad obviously can get this base. Yeah, exactly. I think that's the right move. Like, I feel like this base will go to Meowkaiser eventually, but you're not going to want to take that lately. Meowkaiser really needs a muscle for position, so if he can set up a nice position here, he's going to do a lot. Like, he's going to kind of vicariously protect these couple bases. He's going to basically secure these pocket bases, and he's going to make it very difficult for Vladlad to take either of these gristmills, especially this one. But Vladlad's going to move through. Vladlad, it looked like, was expecting Meowkaiser to take that easier expansion, and went in for the scout. Still hasn't seen what Meowkaiser is exactly up to yet. Needs to go scout that high ground, and then he does get the scout. Now he knows what's going on. Skunks are on the way here, which might actually do very well against what Meowkaiser is bringing to the table here, as Meow's really just got a lot of squirrels at the moment. I don't think Meowkaiser's scouted in on what Vladlad's up to recently. Yeah, I guess this is a nice saving grace for Vladlad. It's going to be rough for him to expand, but he does get those 2 campfires basically given to him there. Fox says the highest global win percent of all tier 3, says Blitzrider. Yeah, it's probably because of me. You know what I'm saying, guys? I rock that Fox pretty often. Now, I think Valeris uses it a lot too, so does Sky Raider. There's a lot of high-level players that are using Fox at the moment. No, I will not stop it. I mean, look at this. This is great for Meowkaiser. I like these turrets. They really solidify this high ground positioning for him. And yeah, I mean, he doesn't necessarily need them right at the second. I mean, there's no way Vlad's going to be able to attack into that. And now that he's got the ferrets, he's got the pigeons to give him some high ground vision. But what I was going to say earlier is, like, yeah, Meowkaiser invested a lot into those 3 turrets, but he had a really strong economy behind it. Like, Vladlad does have the 2 campfires, but he still hasn't been able to saturate up that second base. Bit of an overextension here for Meowkaiser. Nice hold from Vladlad. But Meowkaiser is starting to skyrocket up in income. And, yeah, I mean, overall, those last couple engagements for Meowkaiser there were pretty rough. Some nice holds there from Vladlad. It's hard for him to attack into this position. You know, all the skunk gas, the high ground, and these ferrets are just going to poke Meowkaiser into oblivion. He's going to start kind of moving back a little bit. I mean, that artillery cannon is pretty far back, but 10 range, man. I'm trying to count these tiles here. Like, a farm's 2 tiles, right? So 2, 4, 6, 8, and then, okay, no, he sold it and moved it. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, that arty cannon could probably reach, like, right, you see the blue and green kind of jagged here on one of the farms? Like, I think that's the range of the arty cannon. So that's going to be very good for Meowkaiser once that gets up. Now, I don't think Vladlad is aware of that artillery cannon. Otherwise, no, he is. I think the right move to make is to just jump on it, man, because it takes so long to build. I think you almost have to hard engage into it. But I guess since he has some ferrets with some good targeting and some good micro, he can eventually take care of that cannon. Yeah, watch it. Watch how far this thing's going to shoot. It's so crazy. Meowkaiser trying to get that third base up. Might fast forward a little bit as we're in a little bit of a lull here. But it's really on Vladlad to get something done. I like this little micro of the Falcons over, but the Falcons are really kind of what keeps the ferrets pushed back. So without those in position, Vladlad can much more easily come in here and get some poke stun to his opponent. Look at that siege, wrecking down on those ferrets. Meowkaiser's built up a lot of units here, but he's going super, super hard on squirrels, man. The 4 skunks from Vladlad are gonna do fairly well against that. This is what I'm worried about, though, because Vladlad doesn't really have expanding options from here, so Meowkaiser doesn't really have to do anything. He can just saturate up this base. Hell, even saturate up this base. Wait till he can afford several owls. 2 of them are already coming. And then just push out with his mice and kind of, you know, boa constrict, you know, stranglehold Vladlad to death. Because Vladlad is not going to be able to expand. Well, actually, Vladlad, you know, in the positioning that Meowkaiser has here, can definitely get this base, which is a nice pickup for him. Even going to come in and get those warrants. But Vladlad's already got his own owl down. 1 owl's not super scary, but it's still nice to have free units on the board. You know, those mice will help out a lot in the fights, can go in there and harass. And I even love it when I see owl players like imagine Vladlad move the owl over just to trigger the mice to take out all this. Like, he doesn't have to use his entire army, he could just use the owl and keep his army in position. But I don't think he's worried about Meowkaiser moving out anyways. Yeah, those mice should just clean everything up from there. Zombo mice. More artillery cannons coming down from Meowkaiser, though. Meowkaiser's not super worried about losing that main. I'm sure. Oh man, the mice come over from the side and it's just getting more damage done. That's really cool, but gotta get cleaned up by those pig guns. Vladlad's playing this very well. I mean, this is exactly what he has to do in this position. He's got to be aggressive, man. And I don't know if Meowkaiser can really hold on anymore. Vladlad might just have too much here. Those artillery cannons are worth their weight in gold, but I think Vladlad's got enough to where he can just kind of come in and target fire down those cannons, you know, pretty easily. But gonna back out for now instead. And those cannons just getting so much damage done over time to this army of Vladlad here. But Meowkaiser's got his owls now, and that might be enough to help him kind of stay in the game for the time being. You know, these mice will do a good job defending these cannons, and Meowkaiser already working on this additional base to the left. Hey, we got Pedro Nanu in the chat. What's up, man? Early show tonight. I think you Europeans are happy. Okay, Vladlad's getting up to his second owl. Overall, I feel like this is really well played from both players. I mean, great job from Vladlad. Really keeping the pressure on here. Not letting Meowkaiser just sit back and do whatever he wants. And on the other side of the coin, I mean, Meowkaiser, there's a lot of situations where I thought he would just be dead. And he's managed to stay in and stabilize. But now he's going to start oh, wow, and the arty cannons don't have vision on those ferrets. Gonna get one of them for free. But maybe for free is too soon as the mice come in, but the counter mice are here. The pigeons self-heal, and the ferrets get out in time. Oh my god, Meowkaiser. This is what I'm talking about. 5 owls on the way. But Vladlad's not slouching on his owl count either, as he's going up to 3 of them. I think these balloons are maybe a little bit questionable. I don't think Meowkaiser has the forces to come in here and attack anyways, and that those balloons could just be more owls for him at this moment. Yeah, early TNT today, guys. In lieu of just straight up canceling the show, I gotta hit the road and travel a few hours to another city for work tomorrow. So I was gonna cancel, but I was like, you know what? I could probably do it early. And then I was thinking about setting up it to rerun at the normal time tonight. Alright, so nice little trade there, but Vladlad pulls it back. I mean, I don't know how I feel about these balloons. Like, I understand the balloons, but just more owls, man. Meowkaiser just needs to buy a little bit more time. Look at all these artillery cannons. It looks like that third one's gonna get up too. If he can get up to 5 owls, man, I'm not sure if Vladlad's gonna have enough. But Vladlad's really committing hard here. You know, this isn't like regular trading, I feel like, since those artillery cannons are just getting so many shots off. That was a pretty big mistake there from Vladlad, I gotta say. Look at that army value. That's exactly what Mistclicker needed to stay into this game. And now we see these 5 owls out, but that's not enough for Meowkaiser, man. He wants to get up to that 7. So many owls, dude. I want to see 7 owls. I don't know if we'll get there. Meowkaiser should just sell off his 9 squirrels and build more owls, I feel like. Well, I guess you need a couple squirrels, right, to target your opponent's owls? I don't know. We are almost 13 minutes in here, guys. So many owls! I mean, do you guys even really need me to commentate anymore? There's 8 owls on the board. Can't we just watch this and enjoy it? Dude, those artillery cannons, man. They've been racking up so much value all game long for Meowkaiser. I think the problem with Vladlad's army here is that he's just too well-rounded, right? Like, he's got a lot of different stuff, but... I mean, 8 owls, you know? It's pretty good. Commentating, you lazy caster. Yeah. Oh, you know, as I say that, though, that skunk gas did really well in that fight. Maybe Vladlad is gonna have enough, you know, but... More mice, you know what I'm saying? Vladlad with the desperation. Man, that's so cocky. Like, how are you gonna throw all those farms down? As the mice are running in. More artillery cannons here. This artillery cannon owl combo is so sick. Vladlad! Throw down these farms, man. Like, I get you need more economy, but maybe he's probably trying to bait Meowkaiser, right? Just be like, dude, I want those juicy farms. I mean, you gotta think 8 owls worth of mice is just eventually gonna come in here and break everything. 15-minute game. Yeah, I think Vladlad just kind of pincered from here. He can't get any better of an economy. He really can't attack into Meowkaiser because all the artillery. And he's got this inferior owl count, man. 8 owls. Just let him chill for a second and let us see how many mice this produces. So insane. They're still spawning. Look at all those mice. Those balloons, they don't even care. Yeah, having a couple squirrels in here is helping out Meowkaiser for sure. Being able to take down the balloons and his opponent's owls. He almost got that one. Man, all that skunk gas is really helping out Vladlad. Now he's finally getting these artillery cannons up to the front. But Meowkaiser's gonna starve a little bit sooner, perhaps. Well, that campfire's still got a lot left on it. Now Vladlad's gonna hit starvation here shortly. 16 minutes in. What a crazy match. Now Vladlad's starving. I think he played really well, and you know what? If Vladlad had access to maybe just one more gristmill, he might have done a bit better here. But overall, very nice defense from Meowkaiser. Was able to secure the position. You know, to be honest, I don't even think Vlad really even needed another gristmill. There was a big fight where he kind of really, I think he just kind of he smelled blood in the water, you know. and he thought he was going to be able to take Meowkaiser out, but Meowkaiser had a great defense, had some well-positioned artillery cannons, and held off, and Vladlad lost like a ton of units there. And I think that might have been the big deciding factor in this game. Meowkaiser takes it out with some style on the back of like 4 or 5 artillery cannons and 8 owls. Alright guys, match number 9. Let's hop into it. Spawning to the right, we've got Xanatic. And his opponent to the left, Ravenlead. Ravenlead. I want to say Ravenlead. Kind of reminds me of that Elfin Lead anime name. Isn't that how you say that? So I think it's Ravenlead. Alright, we're going to have Wolf first boar here if we get to that point. And overall, I mean, I think both these deck compositions look pretty good. They're actually really similar, really just swapping out their tier 3 and their defensive choices. But yeah, this looks good. I mean, nobody's just like really super hard countered at deck selection or anything like that. Nobody's running some insane builds with, you know, it kind of has this nice, you know, intended split: 2 tier 1, 2 tier 2, a tier 3, and a turret or defense from either player. And the map looks probably better for Xanatic here, I want to say, because Xanatic should be able to, well, it's kind of hard. I mean, we'll have to see, because I think you're going to split it where Xanatic gets, you know, these Gristmills and Ravenlead gets these. But it might be really difficult for either player to take these two. I mean, they're kind of within spitting distance of each other. And you can't just sit around, you know. There's no way that both these Gristmills are going to get taken at the same time. You know, if Xanatic has this one, it's not like he's just going to let Raven build right there. You know what I mean? So we might see one player really bully and muscle the other player to secure their respective base, or maybe take the safer route by taking, you know, a base up north or a base down south a little further away from their opponents. But so far, we're just kind of in tier 1 chicken, man. Nobody throwing anything else down at the moment. But we should see some decisions coming in soon. Let's see what Ravenlead. Yeah, he's going to go for the skunk. And Xanatic here, grabbing that campfire. I always like to see that. Oftentimes, this will go unpunished, man. And it just gives you a huge economic advantage. You know, especially off one base play. If we're talking about both players have one base and one player has a campfire, I mean, that's an enormous percentage increase in your overall economy. I think something like 12 or 13% increase, so. Lots of skunks coming down for both players here. Ravenlead already rushing up to 4 total. Meanwhile, Xanatic's gonna grab 2. Gonna throw some turrets over here, so I wonder if he's trying to maybe position this as like a fallback point where he can kind of come in, poke in, you know, move back up to these turrets. Balloon coming down as well from Ravenlead, so both players playing pretty defensive. That's a nice spot to put a balloon, though. I almost would have preferred it on this lower ground in that corner right there, because then it would protect this base a bit better. But that balloon should still be protecting this base fairly well. Like, keep in mind, it's got more vision than it's got range, but I think it's got most range to cover that Gristmill. Yeah, Xanatic is shooting up to that second base pretty quickly. He's just going to try to secure this top area. I think that's a pretty smart play. And already investing a good amount in economy. I mean, Xanatic's income is 4 farms ahead of Ravenlead's at this point, including the campfire. Nice denial on that Gristmill. Ravenlead really just wasn't in position. Xanatic bled off a couple of the squirrels to the balloons, but gladly sacrificed there as he slows down his opponent's expansion time. And we're starting to get to the point where it's going to be critical to expand soon, man. I mean, we're 4 minutes, 10 seconds into the match. You got to remember at that 5-minute mark, your first 4 starting farms will all mine out. And yeah, I feel like Xanatic's in great shape here. Rabbit lead though, deciding maybe he's just gonna go for a one base tactic, try to hunker down, get that woof, and maybe move out for a big push there. Tries to take another base, but Xanatic's on top of it with the scouting. He moves his army over. Rabbit lead trying to meet him, and we're gonna have a big engagement out in the field here. Might come down to some target firing. Nice target firing on Rabbit lead's side, trying to focus fire down the skunks of his opponent. Those pigeons have done a great job keeping these tier 2 units alive through the skunk gas. I always hate when my healing pigeons will like prioritize killing a squirrel over like a skunk that's about to die or something. And a little bit of an overextension there from Rabbit lead. Really desperately wanted to keep that base alive, but just ended up throwing away too many units. He recognizes that, taps out. Xanatic takes the match. Alright guys, match number 10. Okay, spawning to the left, we've got Doohoo. And his opponent to the right, Valeris. Alright, interesting deck coming out of both these players here, really. I was going to say Valeris, like, rocking the moles, and I think probably just dropping the tier 3 for that. So he's going to have a nice early game split. I think Valeris, yeah, look at that. Already up to no good here, but Doohoo's going to see it and respond correctly, I believe. Yep, and that should be okay. Valeris just really trying to force his opponent to get out of his element a little bit. Not allow him to just go straight up to those 8 farms. And, if they don't respond correctly to that little mole pressure, it can knock out a pig or two if you're not careful, so. Yeah, I feel like Valeris wants to put on a lot of aggression this game. Squirrel, lizard, mole, chameleon will probably be the combo. I'd imagine he might get up to, 6 to 9 squirrels and lizards each, wait for the chameleons, and then reinforce with maybe 2, 3, 4 moles as he's moving out for the big push. And perhaps the ferrets are there just as that utility unit, as I often speculate on. But Doohoo, man, look at this composition. Just rocking the lizards, so a little bit vulnerable against toads, but toads aren't that popular at the moment. And then the fox for the early game pressure, the owl for the late game transition, and the turret balloon to either contain or to kind of hunker down and get up to some tier 3 on the back of. So yeah, I thought I saw that too, the gentleman in the chat, where I mislabeled the replay. I apologize for that. However, we do have a gentleman match coming up. I believe I'm saving it for the last replay against Sky Raider, so that's going to be a good one. So nothing too crazy this game. We'll hop it up to ×2. Right now, both these players just building up some lizards. Let's see who wants to tech up first or who wants to expand first. Yeah, Valeris getting those chameleons. So I'm imagining, yep, I think this is a really cool move from Valeris. Okay, as I say that, he just immediately proves me wrong from taking the gristmill. But I figured what Valeris was going to do here is just, sprinkle in some squirrels, wait for those chameleons to get done, push out, use a couple moles to reinforce. But since he's taking that gristmill, I don't feel like he's gonna hard engage into a big one base all in, because if you're gonna do that, then you want every piece of meat that you possibly can into your army, right? Like, that's a really important distinction to make, man. You don't want to be going, oh, that might be too many lizards. Doohoo coming in, gonna try, but Valeris trying to get this defender's advantage in the Warrens, and it might be enough to make Doohoo back out for now. Chameleon comes in, gonna do a good job against these lizards for the moment. And yeah, Doohoo's gonna back out before he overextends. Nice little poke in though. Really keeping Valeris honest there. And if Valeris was trying to do something like rush up to a tier 3 or built too many farms on the second base, then that might have been just game right there. But yeah, what I was saying is, like, if you are gonna go, I think if you want to practice, it's really important to understand, builds versus deck composition. I think you can, if you really figure out a certain deck, you could have one deck and have like 5 or 6 builds in it. Builds being like how you play the game, when and where you place your Warrens down and why. But Valeris moving out for a push here and gonna commit. These chameleons do a great job in these tier 1 engagements, but Doohoo's got enough to clean this up. And this is what I was talking about. Imagine if Valeris had 3 moles there instead of the gristmill and the couple farms, right? Like, that might have been enough to break Doohoo's back, as Doohoo has invested into his second base so much. But that's not necessarily the strategy Valeris is going for. Valeris just was trying to put on some pressure there and did okay. I mean, he did lose his army, but he killed most. Yeah, if you look at the army value graph, I mean, Doohoo also lost quite a bit there, so it wasn't too bad for him. Doohoo getting up to this owl. Has Valeris scouted it? Is the question. He hasn't seen it yet, but I imagine Valeris is going to head out shortly to go scout again. I'm surprised to see the owl as the first pick here for Doohoo. I figured having the fox in the deck, maybe you want that fox first. But, I mean, he has seen a lot of anti-fox units out of Valeris. He's seen the lizards, he's seen the chameleons. So maybe Doohoo's thinking, you know what, I'm not even going to risk, using the fox this game, as lizards can and will catch up to the fox, man. Like, if you're having trouble against fox on the ladder, I would recommend just tech in lizards. You don't have to go crazy and like design your entire deck to be anti-fox. Just practice squirrel lizard. I mean, it's a good strategy anyways, and if you see your opponent going for a fox, man, just build a ton of lizards, and trust me, a ton of lizards is like the worst nightmare to a fox. So I think that's probably actually really good game sense from Doohoo. If it was me, I might have just straight up built the fox anyways, because that was like my predetermined build, well, it's like I'm gonna get the fox first and then later on get the owl. So I like that out of Doohoo a lot, actually. He really read what Valeris is doing, was like, you know what, that's probably not the strongest pick at the moment. Gonna try to hop onto that tier 3 Warren, but Doohoo's got enough units in position, and a lot of those lizards end up dying for Valeris there. But the chameleons do manage to take out the owl. Was it worth it, though, as Valeris lost a ton of units to knock out that tier 3 Warren. It is Doohoo. Massive Stealth. I was saying Doochu, and he corrected me on Discord and let me know that it's pronounced Doohoo. So I will respect Doohoo's request and pronounce his name as he sees fit. Blitzrider already knew. See, you European guys. You guys probably knew from day one I was saying it wrong. Alright. Doohoo might have too many Warrens. Well, actually, you know what? He's got an 8-farm economy, so don't let the red throw you off. I think he actually can afford that many lizards. If Valeris is in a rough spot here, man. Like, he's got a more well-rounded composition, Squizzard plus Chameleon, but Doohoo might just come in here. Just too many Zerglings, man. Just way too many units just all over the place. I'm a bit worried. Grabbing that campfire, I'd like to see that. Valeris has got it in this game, right? I mean, maybe he can try to take the space, but I don't think he's got a good third base option. Or no, Valeris is not in position with his commander, and Doohoo's gonna come in for a big engagement here, and that is a lot of lizards, man. Let's see, but he is attacking into defender's advantage. And yeah, oh wow. I mean, look how much that defender's advantage really helped Valeris there. Those couple chameleons. And plus there's this concept I think people overlook a lot, where it's like, since Valeris's units had found their own tile and Doohoo was running in, these squirrels are firing immediately, where Doohoo, I mean, especially when you have that many lizards, like they all have to find their own tile to be able to fire. So those lizards took a lot of damage before even being able to fire back, if that makes sense. Whereas Valeris's units were firing basically immediately. All right, third base here for Doohoo, and this is where I'm getting really worried for Valeris as his economy is going to start to waver here. We're at the 9-minute mark. Let's do a little fast forwarding. I do apologize for fast forwarding so much today, but I gotta get going. Not the best day to try to fit in 13 replays, but I wanted to try. Excuse me. I literally had like more than that in unique submitters. I had to cut out a couple unique submitters even. If I did miss you, by the way, and your name is not Vincent, and you submitted games to me and you're not on the show tonight, let me know. And I'll for sure get you on Thursday. All right, let's see it. 34 lizards coming Valeris' way. This might just be too much, even with the defender's advantage. Chameleon's putting in a lot of great work here. But the swarm is here. And that's going to be the game. Really cool match, man. Just look at this. Like, look how action-packed this match was. Look at this income graph. It's constant ups and downs. Or army value, rather. If Valeris could have, you know, grabbed another base, I think he might have been able to take that one, perhaps. All right, 3 more. We'll do 3 more because I love you guys, and then I gotta get going. All right, spawning in the bottom, we've got Mass Stealth and his opponent up top, Kerpa. All right, Massive Stealth, man. Stealing my deck. I don't know if he stole it, but maybe it's just parallel thinking, but I've been using this deck a lot lately, trying to really fine-tune build orders and stuff, and I think it's a really solid deck, man. I don't use the Falcons a whole lot in it, but I think they're nice to have. Like, if I would change anything in that deck, I think it would be the Falcons. Just because most games I don't end up building them, but the games I do end up building them, they really do come in handy. They're just kind of nice because that deck, the deck Massive Stealth running really doesn't have any like big powerhouse late game units, so Falcons help with that. Master replay. All right, so Kerpa being dirty here, man, starting this contain, and Massive Stealth didn't quite scout it out in time. Ooh, Kerpa probably shouldn't have sold his turret there. I guess he just wanted to be a bit annoying, but not that annoying. But yeah, I mean, if Kerpa would have committed to that, I think he would have won that little turret war. And now he's going to be down 60 food with a delayed economy. So Massive Stealth's not in bad shape here. And overall, this map is really favored for Massive Stealth. I mean, look at this. You know, 5 bases right here, all hanging out next to each other, having a good old time. And Kerpa's got this nice, like, 2-base mid-game split for his army, or for his map rather. You know, he's got a second base and he's got 3 campfires surrounding it, but that's about it. You know, Kerpa's really gonna have to end this off like 2.5 bases. Meanwhile, Massive Stealth could just macro this all the way up into late game if he sees fit. All right, Massive Stealth rocking the 8-farm 2 tier 1 into a tier 3 build. Let's see if Kerpa sniffs it out. If he doesn't, that could be pretty huge. Is Kerpa AFK? You guys? Okay. All right, Kerpa really needs to get this scout off on what Massive Stealth's doing. Right now, he's just having a good time, macroing up, grabbing a campfire. But he's got to get in here and recognize a fox is going to be coming to hit his face here shortly. But if Massive positions the squirrels right, he could kind of force them away. Now, he gets the scout off. So now he's going to know what's up. I would love to see Kerpa do a big tech switch into lizards. But the toads help out with that, you know. And Kerpa going up to the boar. to try to respond to the fox, but I feel like the boar is not a good answer to the fox, to be honest, compared to the snakes or the lizards he's got in his deck. Massa gonna go up to the second base. And yeah, I love this opening for Massa Stealth. It can get punished if your opponent goes for a very hard one base all in, but in situations like this where they don't, you just approach this mid game in such a phenomenal position. You know, you've kind of got enough tier 1, you've got the fox, so it's really going to be dependent. I mean, you got to be able to micro this fox very, very well. When you rush a tier 3 this early, you know, losing that tier 3 is basically a death sentence. He's gonna try to come in here. These fox might, I mean, the toads might get some good engagement, but no, Kerpa manages to kill those in time. Oh my god, Kerpa! Kerpa, sign my mouse pad! Oh, dude, that was amazing! Oh my god. It was so much better because it happened to Massa Stealth too. Dude, I didn't even see that coming. Oh, that was so good. Like, look at this. He even built the Warrens over there. And he was kind of playing like, yeah, there's nothing I can do about your stinky fox. And then, boom, man. Oh, that was gorgeous. Very well played. I don't think Massa did anything wrong there. Like, I think Massa was doing the right thing. But Kerpa just with some great mind games there. You know, really tried to feign like he was super open to it. Built those lizards off to the side. You know, he hadn't built any lizards yet that game, I don't believe, so Massa didn't even know he had lizards. It wasn't that Massa did anything wrong, it's just that Kerpa did something so right. Hey, here we go, Kerpa with the counter aggression, gotta move in with the boar. And let's see if Massa can do anything about this fox getting backed up into a corner, but should be able to knock out this boar. Nice toad engagements onto these squirrels, though. And Massa holds fairly well. He lost a lot of farms there, but Massa also had a ton of farms. Like, he's still in a great economic position compared to his opponent here. Yeah, very nicely done by Massa Stealth there. Good hold. Keeps him alive in this game. And as long as he doesn't lose another fox, you know, if he gets some really good toad hits on these lizards, you know, that's kind of a dangerous game that Kerpa's playing to keep these lizards around. But, oh no, the snakes are here. If the snakes get up on the fox, one of them hits. The lizards are enough to take down the other fox. That's all Massa Stealth's got. Gonna tap out. Sick plays from Kerpa. Managed to take the game. Really cool replay submission, dude. I loved it. Short and sweet. It showed off a really cool thing that happened. And Massa Stealth lost the game, so all three of those things I enjoy quite a bit. Okay, match number 12 here. We're gonna do two more. All right, spawning in the bottom, we've got Sheer. And his opponent to the top left, Pez. All right, we see some owls here. We see some moles. I'm obviously just picking on Massa Stealth guys for fun. Massa Stealth's probably done more to support this channel than anybody. I mean, basically all the artwork here is all Massa Stealth's doing. I bug him all the time in Discord. Really cool guy. But it's so satisfying watching him get wrecked. Alright, let's see what these guys do this game. Some 5-farm Warren openings. That doesn't necessarily mean aggression. It's just kind of a safe build. We don't see it as much as we used to in the early days of Tooth and Tail because there's a lot more powerful, aggressive openings back then, and you just kind of really had to do that from to prevent your face from just getting wrecked by moles or something. So let's see what these guys decide to do. I do apologize. I am going to fast forward a little bit because I'm running out of time before I need to hit the road. So far so good, nothing crazy. We're approaching the 2-minute mark here. Sheer going for that fast tier 2. That's a pretty greedy tier 2. Typically, 2 tier 1 into a tier 2 is like a fast tier 2 opening. And you can go straight tier 2 or 1 tier 1 warren into tier 2. I mean, that's viable strategies, but it's a risk. You know, you're being greedy. If you get away with it, you know, you can execute that tier 2 timing attack faster than normal and might catch your opponents off guard. So I like seeing it, man. Pez snags the campfire over in the corner. And getting up to his own Falcons here. And second base coming down for Pez. It doesn't look like either player is positioning themselves for any aggression yet. And yeah, we're just kind of going into a nice kind of gentleman's agreement match, you know. Both players just kind of getting up the units that they want, you know, starting to take expansions. Nobody really attacking one another. So we'll see where we get into this game. Now, looking at this map, look at that artillery cannon. That artillery cannon positioning is, oh my god, so good. If anything, I would critique by saying you could maybe put it a bit farther forward, but you don't have to. With the 10 range that it's got, I mean, that artillery cannon just serves so many purposes. It's going to defend all 3 of these bases. It's going to give Sheer the capability to poke in here and retreat back to that artillery cannon if he you know, gets in hot water. And it's basically going to deny this base from Pez. But looking at the map here, you know, Pez has these 3 fairly easy gristmills to take. He's got the campfire. Owl already on the way here for Pez. And Sheer's kind of in the same boat where he's got, you know, 3 easy gristmills to take. Ooh, beautiful play from Pez. I was going to call that Sheer's 4th base, and Pez was probably going to call it Sheer's 4th base as well. That's why he's going to try to get in here and snag it from right underneath him. If this game does go super long, you know, that base could be absolutely huge, especially if Sheer doesn't scout it. And even if Sheer does scout it, you can't just move your entire army over here to attack this. You know, then you're going to be out of position. A little bit of an engagement over to the side. Pez seeing if he can find an angle to run in. Look at this, man. Sheer is just starting to leapfrog his defenses more and more forward. If Sheer can actually start building, like, imagine if he gets an artillery cannon right next to this balloon. And that would be huge, man. I'd love to see him sell off this back one. Looks like he did just that. Oh, the balloon is gonna go down. Pez is gonna pay for it, though, with a lot of lizards. Throw down that arty, baby. Let's see it. There it is. Okay, this is going to be rough for Pez, but Pez has a couple advantages working in his favor. If the map splits like this, Pez is going to be up 1 more gristmill, assuming that Sheer can't actually take this gristmill. I don't think either player is really going to take this gristmill, so just kind of depend it doesn't exist, or pretend it doesn't exist. You know, maybe we might see Sheer take it for the territory, but I don't see how he'd be able to build anything on it. Ooh, needs to be careful. Can't lose this owl. Pez actually pushes back Sheer for the time being. Excuse me. That burp came out of nowhere. Normally I try to mute my mic. Gets that artillery cannon out of there. Very important. Alright guys, we're 6 minutes in. This is a pretty long replay. No spoiler alert there, but... So we might just rock it on ×2 for the majority of this. So Pez really wants to just kind of saturate up these bases. I would really, if I was Pez, focus on saturating this base up. You want to get that before you get busted, but no, Sheer busts them now for it looks like. And Sheer can send his Falcons over there, at the very least, and try to, you know, knock that out. Oh, he's actually going to build some moles over there. But Sheer's out of position to defend this. But, oh man, the balloon picks up the owl. Very nice there for Sheer. Just a couple moles over here are going to knock out that base. It's exactly what Sheer needed. Good game sense from Pez, because you could see he was like about to build a couple farms on it, and then he decided against it. And like right after he left and decided against it, Sheer scouted it and took it out, so... All right. This is going to be rough for Pez, man. Sheer's in a really good spot. we're going to get into a long, drawn-out defensive structure owl macro game. We've seen a couple of those tonight here. And Pez understands how important this... I think this for sure is the most important gristmill on the map, because it's one of the only gristmills that's not just, like, automatically, you know, like, oh, that's Pez's base or that's Shear's base, you know. Like, either player could really get this one. It's a bit more favored towards Shear, but, you know, if Pez really invests in this position, he can secure this base. And he takes a great engagement here against his enemy's forces. Needs that lizard regen to kick in. Ooh, can't lose all these moles. Needs to sell those off. Well done from Pez. You know, that's really the biggest contention point on this map, because Pez can't really attack into here. He's tried to do so several times. He's going to need to build that owl count up higher to do so. And you know, likewise, it's not very well defended by Pez either, so Shear can kind of try to go over there when Pez isn't ready and try to knock it out. But so far, so good. Pez has kept this other owl alive, and he's starting to build up a decent number of falcons here. We are 10 minutes into this match. Ooh, Shear's gonna pick up that gristmill. It's pretty big. Granted, Pez has got this other one on the side, but Shear's economy is nice and healthy at the moment. And this contain strategy is working very well for him. He's been very conservative, though. I kind of got to tip my hat to him for that. You know, he hasn't turned down any Owl's Warren yet. He's really been trying to invest in getting this forward position secured, you know, making sure to keep the pressure on Pez, but Pez is getting up to a healthy number of falcons here, and that's really making a big difference in these fights. God, that arty cannon range is so ridiculous. You know, it hasn't been as OP as I thought it would be on the ladder, at least for my experience, though, because, I mean, if you're really on top of your scouting, I mean, they take so long to build. And I also build ferrets 9 times out of 10, right? So if I see someone trying to place down an artillery cannon, most of the time I can kind of poke it down before it gets built. But once they do get built, it's very difficult. It's almost like one of those things where it's like, well, how do you deal with it? Well, you try not to let it happen in the first place, you know? Because it is very difficult to get that artillery cannon up. You know, especially after that change where structures no longer continue gaining HP while under fire. So building things get taken out much easier now. And then that 50-second build time. I think where artillery cannons shine the most is when it almost as like a win more tool. When you've like got your opponent in this position where it's like, well, I've got the better army, plus I'm building an artillery cannon. You know what I'm saying? So they can't just kind of try to jump in and take it out. You know, that's where I feel like artillery really, really shines. Yeah, nice little runaround tactic with the Falcons. I can't quite get them over there on the high ground, though. A few of them are going to be able to fire, but these lizards come over to try to counter this pretty quickly. Pez really trying to keep this base alive. I don't blame him, but at the same time, it's like he can't even invest anything there. And poor Pez really doesn't have many options to continue his economy at this point, but neither does Shear, man. We might see this devolve into like a really scrappy game where Shear is just going to have to sell off a lot of this defense, you know, just to keep being able to afford, you know, maybe building an extra base and keeping that income going. Gonna try to move in again here with the Falcons. Well played. Pez isn't in position that time to take a couple of those out or try to defend that. Like, what does either player do from here, you know? Like, it's hard to take any more of these bases on this map. Pez finally feels like he can afford owl number 2. That gets placed down. And Sheer still hasn't even been built an owl. He's really just, I don't even think he's got owls on the mind this game. I think he's just trying to get more and more falcons here. We're 17 minutes in. Oh, Pez is going to try to maybe catch Sheer. Pretty comparable amount of falcons here for both players, though. And neither player can really focus fire down their opponents. Ooh. Gets some damage, but Sheer backs out of there. The second owl is on the way, though. Pez, actually, I'm starting to really like Pez's position here. I think Sheer is just running out of steam. Like, where is Sheer going to expand? I mean, Pez can still take those bases, I think. Or does no, Balloon's given vision to that arty cannon. Maybe a couple, like these side ones. I don't think, maybe the artillery cannon might not have enough range for. Ooh, that's actually a huge pickup from Sheer, man. 180 food, 240, including this gristmill. I mean, with these scrappy positions, with these low economies, you really can't be affording them. I like the decision making there from Pez to try to get those turrets up, but nice pickup from Sheer. Just kind of walked in at literally the last second and knocks those turrets out. I think Pez is going to win on the back of these owls, though, but he needs to get in here and start harassing with these mice. I mean, Sheer's on a starvation farm, and that is it. Useless turrets without visions. Anyways, this glass metal. Oh, yeah, that's a good point. They wouldn't be able to see up on that high ground. I feel like Pez just really needs to get in here with these mice, man. Start getting some damage done. Like, he would for sure kill a couple of these squirrels, and after enough waves, probably the artillery cannon as well. We're 19 minutes, 30 seconds in here. I mean, if you're Sheer, do you just sell off the defense at this point? I don't know. Okay, we've hit the 20-minute mark. I think Pez just needs to pull the trigger, man, at least with these mice. Oh, man, okay, Sheer. Finally moving out on the map. Gonna come in for the engagement, but Pez actually just rolls over this army with the support of the mice on the ground. And I think Pez actually just wins from here. Wow. Nicely done from Pez, man. Definitely a frustrating game to play, but he stuck it out and eventually won from a position that looked really favored for Sheer. All right. Last match. Let's hop into it. Game number 13. Okay, spawning on the bottom, we have the Gentleman. And his opponent up top, Sky Raider. Okay, we see balloons here, we see the fox for Sky Raider, and we see the wolf for the Gentleman. Overall, the map split looks very good for the Gentleman here. There's kind of only these, like, 4 gristmills in the middle of the map. Like, how is this even a map? I mean, what? I'm so confused. Like, there's a couple campfires over here, right? But, I mean, it's not like... like, look at this. There's no way that 2 players are going to be farming off these gristmills at the same time, right? So, I'm thinking we're going to have a pretty short match on our hands here, as this might just come down to 1 base play. At least for Sky Raider. Like, Gentleman can... excuse me. Gentleman can take this base. But Sky Raider's got no second base option here. And he's looking around desperately to try to find one. So I'm interested to see how Sky Raider's going to go about this. Now, at least as a consolation prize, Sky Raider's got a couple campfires here that he can rely on. Okay. Nothing crazy so far. Sky Raider snagging one of those campfires, building up a nice squirrel force. And Gentleman gonna try to take that expansion. That really puts the clock on Sky Raider, man. He cannot let this base get up for the Gentleman here. So, let's see how Sky Raider responds. I mean, Sky Raider's probably had to have figured out by now that getting a second base is just not in the cards for him this game. Gonna go for the Fox. I think that's a smart move. He needs to deny this expansion, or this scout from the Gentleman, though, and he'll be in good shape. I mean, it's Sky Raider. Sky Raider's kind of known for Fox play, so Gentleman might be assuming a Fox. Gentleman probably assumes that there's a Fox in Sky Raider's deck, but doesn't necessarily know that he's already placed one down on the battleground here. Meanwhile, Gentleman's one of these players that's kind of hard to typecast, man. I feel like that's kind of what impressed me the most out of the Gentleman's play. I mean, he really understands the full gambit of Tooth and Tail units, and you never know what's going to end up in this guy's deck composition. So when you're unpredictable like that, you know, it really adds a nice element of surprise to your gameplay. I've been seeing this more and more lately out of high-level players, you know, grabbing this balloon to help take the second base. I mean, I think overall the balloon gives you such a nice vision range. Typically, you know, if Sky Raider wanted to push in, you know, 3-4 of these squirrels will get picked off by the balloon, but really before the fight even happens. And ferrets are such a meta pick right now. And obviously the balloons do very nicely against ferrets, so I think it makes sense. Gentleman gonna try to shove back the opponent's ferrets here with some snakes. Some cowboy snakes. Yeehaw. Oh, almost took some damage there. Needs to be careful with these snakes. Does tag a squirrel, so nice little victory there for the Gentleman. Sky Raider trying to get in position to kill that balloon. He looks like he's barely gonna get it in time. Nicely done. Gentleman does not sell it either, so big victory there for Sky Raider. Sky Raider's moving forward, and now the Fox is here. And yeah, these balloons will be a pain in the ass, but if Gentleman backs out, then yeah, Sky Raider can deny that one balloon. Now he's got this Fox to really help things out, but the Skunks, man, doing great work against Sky Raider's squirrels. But Gentleman's in pretty hot water, I feel like. If Gentleman can get up a couple more balloons, this balloon's gonna go up. That's really big for him. But, you know, Sky Raider's not gonna mess up his Fox micro, man. Starts getting in here to that soft underbelly of the Gentleman, picking off some pigs, but bleeding off some units to the balloon fire as well. Ooh, oh my god! A huge victory there for the Gentleman. Getting that Fox knocked out with the snakes, but I feel like that Fox did a lot of damage for Sky Raider, so yeah, that obviously sucks for Sky Raider, but I think that's okay. Losing that Fox. I don't think that he's out of the game or anything, since he got so much value out of it before it died. But man, these snakes are really doing well for the Gentleman. Almost gets another ferret there. Sky Raider trying to find an angle to come in here. Like, this just puts you in such a hard position with the balloons like this. I've been kind of scratching my head trying to deal with this too lately. Even worse for Sky because he's got no expansion options. Like, he has to do this, right? Like, he's basically forced to attack into these balloons from the Gentleman. And the Gentleman's just gotta chill, man. Like, look at this. He took this other base over here. You know, it's gonna be a lot safer. The farms are, and also Sky Raider's not aware of it, so maybe he thinks he's not quite as far behind in economy as he actually is. Fox number 2 is here. So let's see if Sky Raider can get anything done with it. needs to be careful, man. The snakes, those balloons. Oh, Sky Raider finds a little narrow window where Gentleman's army is not protecting the balloons. Manages to dive in and knock one out. Loses a lot of units for it, but also picks up a couple tier 2 units of Gentleman's for his trouble. But now with that balloon gone, Sky Raider's got a bit more free reign with his Fox here, but he's got no income, man. He's got to win the game now. And he's going to be sorely disappointed to know that Gentleman really doesn't care about that gristmill. I mean, this isn't bad scouting or anything from Sky Raider. You really can't get back there and scout that base. Now, Sky doesn't have high ground vision. That balloon is just like barely out of range to give Sky vision here. So he's gonna try to loop around to the side and try to take a fight not underneath this balloon. The Gentleman take the bait though, not quite. He moves out just to try to throw down a little bit of skunk gas and comes back. Now Sky Raider sees this other base from Gentleman and he's not happy about it. Already getting a lot of good pickoffs here with the Fox, knocking out a pig, knocking out a skunk. Might get another skunk, no targets a squirrel instead. And this is played very well from Sky Raider. Played very well from both players. But I'm kind of taking Sky Raider's side here a little bit just because the map is so unfavored for him. But, oh, actually, does he have enough to break Gentleman here? Ooh, it's going to be close. Looks like Gentleman might have enough on the re-rally. If Gentleman can tag that ferret with the snake, that'd be huge. Sky Raider might have just done it. That other balloon falling gives Gentleman no other options here. Gentleman, quite the gentleman indeed. Sends in a replay of Sky Raider kind of cracking this puzzle against him, even though it resulted in a loss. But Gentleman is no stranger to seeing losses of himself here on TnTTV. Not because he's a bad player, he's one of the best there is, but just because when people beat Gentleman on the ladder, they get super excited and want to submit it. Very impressive play from both players there. Hats off to Sky Raider for coming back and winning that. For sure. Shit to the Sean being a TnTTV, right? Yeah, the farms, that was probably too many farms. Anyways, guys, I gotta get going. Thank you so much for tuning in. Sorry we couldn't do it at the normal time today, but we got a feast in on Tuesday, and I'm sure the European viewers were happy they didn't have to stay up so late to watch it live, so. Take care, everybody. You're all a bunch of beautiful nerds. I gotta get going, so I will see y'all on Thursday. See if anybody's playing some Tooth and Tail at the moment. Doesn't look like it. So no host. We'll just see you guys in a couple days. Take care.